Hi, my dears, this is Olga. This is something that I wanted to record for any of you who are dancing tango and are keen on exploring the possibilities of your bodies a bit more. It's something that is coming from the contemporary dance technique, and it's something that I'm starting to apply more and more in my own dance, and I find it's life-changing. So I wanted to share this with you. It's a technique that I got from my own teacher. I started working on this 1.5 years ago, and the more I work with it, the more I find it fascinating. So in order to work with this, I will just guide you through it as I'm doing it myself. So all you need is a place to sit down on the floor, maybe a mat, something comfortable, and later on we will also explore it in the standing, so something that you will not need much. You can do it in shoes, in barefoot, but we will start barefoot, and I will do the whole thing barefoot. It's up to you what you choose to do. All right, let's go. So first of all, I will do it in seating. So I will sit down, literally like this. And from here, I want you to try to find a way to be fairly relaxed. So I'm sitting up straight, my legs are relaxed. If you have problems with your spines, like I do, for example, I will have, no matter how much I try, I will have a curve in my back, but that's fine, that's not really the problem. The objective is trying to keep our legs long, our body upright, and trying to open up the chest. Yeah, so I'm trying to really think about my upper body wanting to be taller, 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 taller. So there's no tension in my legs at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just having just about enough activation in my body just to keep myself upright and not to sink down and lose the form. So number one thing, you're sitting like this, you're trying to keep your whole body as relaxed as possible, and at the same time, you're trying to grow upwards, opening up your chest. So where do you open up your chest? You're trying to not, this is the trick here in this position. It's very, very, very tempting to sit like this, where your back is curving and the front of your body is kind of closing in. So what first we will do, we will try to reach up for the ceiling, and notice that nothing happens with my legs. So from here, from this relaxed, shapeless position, I will grow up, and nothing really will happen to my feet and my legs in general. There's no tension growing in my legs. All of it is kind of in my upper body. So I'm thinking again, my neck is long and my head sits on top of my back, really. I'm not thinking of my head sitting on top of my chest. I'm really thinking my head is kind of like at the back of my body. And my upper body wants to, instead of closing in and creating like a sphere in here in front of me, I'm trying to create a volume. So I'm becoming a sphere. I'm no longer hugging a sphere. I am becoming a sphere that has a volume in itself. So from here, I will roll the shoulders the way we do it in classes usually, up, back, and down. And here I am in a more open position. Yes, I need to have a bit of strength to maintain this position. Yeah, so this is not super relaxed, but this is the training that we need to do. And then from here, I will put more attention to my legs. So the tricky bit here is we will try two different things. So one of them, my feet are currently just completely relaxed. Some of you might have your feet like this, whatever it is that your feet are, the way it's natural for you, it's fine. So from this position, I will now point my right foot. So I will elongate the top part of my foot, and my foot itself, when I'm elongating it, it's not gonna go in, it's gonna go away from me. Yeah? So it's like, I wanna try to create this beautiful line rather than going in. So my foot is curving inwards. I'm trying to curve it straight away, or maybe even a little slightly outwards. So again, I recreate my position of my upper body. My neck is long, my head is kind of trying to reach 1 centimeter extra. I'm gonna point my right foot, my left leg remains soft. So this is the point number one. You're gonna try to make sure that your left leg, you're literally gonna grab it and you're gonna make sure it's soft. From here, from the pointed foot, you will probably feel how, I want you to contract the whole muscles of the leg. So everything in your leg is like super, super tense. And at the same time, this is still soft. And from here, when you really, you can really try to feel how much tension there is in your leg. From here, you will keep on pointing your foot and you will release the tension, this squeezing of your muscles that you've created. You will release it. And you will feel, this is quite tricky, so this is something for you to work on, and this is the release technique, yeah? So I'm maintaining the stretch of my foot, which is something that I'm using in tango, leaders and followers equally. I'm maintaining the stretch of my foot, but all of this, look at this, it's super soft, so there's no tension here. If I squeeze it again, and I try to do, you see, like I cannot move, I move the whole thing as one block. So again, I'm going to try to keep my foot pointed, and I will release this. And again, my foot is soft. And at the same time, this foot is completely soft. There's nothing happening here. I release this foot. I shake out my legs. I shake out my upper body. I recreate the sensation of up and opening up of my upper body. Notice when you're sitting in this position, it's impossible to flare up your ribs. Yeah, so something that sometimes people get when they're practicing and when they're dancing. As a teacher, I see this very often. I say, open up your upper body. Yeah, and then they open up the ribs and they lean a bit too far back. So what we want is kind of a feeling of closed ribs. So this part is closed and it's connected. And that's why this is where our abs muscles are coming into play. But the upper body is open. So the upper body is open and it has a volume, but the ribs, they're not flared up, they're closed in. So this is the same thing that we are achieving here, much more naturally. So naturally, it's almost impossible to have a flared up, open rib cage in this position. But we can recreate this opening of the shoulders. And I'm going to do the same thing with my left leg. So both legs are free now. I'm going to point my left foot. Again, I'm going to pay attention to where my foot is pointing. And now my whole leg is super tense. I can barely move it. This leg is free. So from here, from this, a lot of tension, which is something that I will later on explain when we use what. From here, I will keep on pointing and I will release the tension here. And now, see, this is all soft now. So really work with your body, work with your legs to feel how much tension you need where. I want you to practice this, and the reason is for these exercises is that we want to have a certain amount of activation and certain amount of tension in our bodies when we're dancing, but we don't want to have it in the wrong place, or we don't want to have it too much. So what is the point of this? If I'm standing and I want to make a step, or if I want to make a decoration, and for example, I want to make a decoration or like a projection. Let's start with a simple projection. I want to make a projection to the side. So my left leg, I will take a projection to the side. Where do I need the tension? Of course, I need to point my foot. Of course, I need to keep on being strong in this leg, in my standing side. Of course, I need to keep on staying open, my rib cage closed. But in my free leg, my projecting leg, what is happening? Do I need to have the whole leg tense where there's nothing happening? Is it indeed a free leg if it's tense? Or is it possible for me to find a way to keep this relaxed, but the toes pointed? So there are two answers to this. Answer number one, if we're doing something really fast and you want to maintain like a really good shape for a very short time, something that is very difficult, and it's usually applicable to stage tango, yeah? So a scenario. In a scenario, there are moments when there's a kick and they're like different things and they're very powerful and strong. Then, yes, you need to have, for a brief moment of time, you need to have a full extension and there's a lot of tension throughout my leg. But I cannot dance like that. What I also need to watch out for is that when I'm pointing, that this leg, the standing leg, I have all the activation. So this is free, yeah? There's no weight on this. But this leg should never be, yeah? I cannot be in the tense position. So I want you to really explore this by yourself. This is your personal work. And I want you really to try to find a way to explore the tensions in your body. So for this, you point the foot. First of all, we work with the free leg. You elongate, you create the stability through the standing side. Obviously, ribcage closed, connection throughout the abs. You're pushing into the floor, and then you're going to point, and you're going to create a lot of tension throughout the whole leg. And you will feel you cannot maintain this for a very long time. Your leg will probably start cramping very quickly. So from here, what you will do, you will release the tension in the pointing leg. But look at that, my foot is still pointing. My leg is free, but my foot is still pointing. This is what we want. And now we're going to put all our attention to our standing side, and we will lock it completely, so there's no, it feels really strong and powerful. And then, again, if you maintain it for a really long time, you will feel how tired you get. So from here, I want you to release it. And I want you to release it starting from here, or like let's start it from the hip. So really pay attention. From the hip, you're going to like gradually put your attention lower and lower and lower into your foot. And as you go, you will kind of, from the tense muscles, you will gradually release. You will probably have to release the butt cheek as well. So you release the butt cheek, then you will release these muscles here, the hamstrings, then you pay attention to what's happening in your knee, this muscle here, then all of this. And then eventually, I want you to get to the foot. So when you're standing on the foot, your foot should not be contracting like this. You should feel heavy and long, and the foot is really like, there's a deep connection with the floor. So it makes an indent. So really feel every part of your foot being relaxed, but well connected with the floor. And from here, what we have is that we have two fairly soft legs, but I'm well grounded here, and I'm still pointing my toes. So I have relaxation where I need it, and I have heaviness in my body, but I still can create something with my pointing foot. And then from here, trying to maintain, this is going to be tricky. I'm going to try to maintain this relaxation in my body. And keep on pointing my foot. I will move my foot around. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do, just move it around. And try to pay attention that this is not, none of this starts to tense up. So you still keep on pointing your foot, but the leg, wherever it is, wherever I have it, if I have it even here in the boleo position, this is all free. The hip in the boleo position, obviously, I can't even do that. You should not go up. Release it. Let it sink. But let it sink not like this, because here I lost this one. So this one keeps on grounding, but this one shouldn't, if I modify it too much, it keeps on losing balance. So this is grounding, and this is heavy, but this one, the moment it goes up, I'm losing balance. Let it drop. So everything releases. The only tension you have is literally in your foot. And obviously, we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I will point the foot. First of all, I'll ground myself through my standing leg here, my standing side. I will connect everything. And then from here, I'll point my foot to the right. It doesn't matter, to the right, to the front, to the back. You can try all of this. Really, I encourage you. So from here, I will point it out, and I will keep on being grounded, and I will tense up this whole leg. Everything is tense. So you can really see like, it's hurting almost my body to have so much tension. And then from here, I will start releasing my free leg muscles, except from the pointed foot. So I'll release that. There we go. So now, this is all free. The free leg is this is the true free leg, when you are able to keep on pointing it, so you have control over it, but there's no tension in your muscles. Again, the hip goes down. It doesn't, my cat is on the counter. The hip goes down. It doesn't try to go up, because going up is extra tension we don't need. So everything, just release it, except for the toes. So the foot is pointing. And the same thing with the standing leg. I will now engage it fully. I lock it, my butt locks, my butt cheek is really tense. It's like it almost hurts my body to be have so much tension. And then from here, I will gradually scan down my standing side, and I will release the butt cheeks, then I will release the hamstrings, then I release the calves, and eventually what I'm left with is a relaxed leg that is able to do this, but I'm very well grounded. And then the last point is spreading out my toes and feeling the groundedness through my toes and through the connection in my foot. And again, I will try to pay attention here that both of these legs, as you see, they're free, but they're both, this one is grounded, this one is pointed. And now, again, the same exercise without losing the pointing of my foot, so the full pointing, and without increasing the tension anywhere in either of my legs. I will just play around, trying to maintain the hips down. So the hips want to connect, they want to be heavy. They want to connect with the ground. They want to connect with the floor. So all of this, even in this position, this is all soft. And the only thing that is working is my foot. So this is an exercise that you can do on your own. This is an amazing exercise because it can really help you with your balance, with your technique, and in general, the ability to not get tired when you're dancing. So it is, it's, in some ways, it's like a life-changing discovery for me when I realized that I can have a lot of activation, a lot of tone, a beautiful line, but it's all very relaxed and I have control at the same time. Because in order to get a bit more control, if I really need it, I can always tense it. If I'm always tense in that moment, there's nowhere else I can go. So I just get tired and I wear myself out. If I have too much tension from the beginning, then most likely I will be really, really uncontrolled. Because when you are standing with too much tension, the moment you push me from here, I just fall. Yeah, so it's something that might help you understand a few of the mistakes that you might be doing in your dancing. And the same thing obviously goes with the embrace. So it's the same idea that you can apply to your embrace. So if you embrace something, so imagine we are, embracing somebody. I'm going to do it from the leader's point of view, for example. What happens? How much tension do I need? I usually say you need it just about enough to hold yourself up without, losing the shape, but there should be nothing like that. So it's the same idea. So you're holding it, you're keeping the shape, but you are not losing the ability to be soft and flexible. Yeah, so it's the same thing. When I'm embracing, none of this is working. I don't need to be like this. I need to be soft and flexible, but there's a shape to it. And I'm able to maintain the beautiful lines of my embrace as well. So it's something that I hope will be quite useful. Ideally, these exercises should not be done just once. So try to do it as often as you can. And it's something that will help you a lot. I would say it probably gave me 10 to 15% of my dance abilities within the last 1.5 years. So these new discoveries I want to share with you because I think it's really useful, it's really important, and especially in these days when we cannot work with each other face to face, at least I want to share something with you, so hopefully you feel like you are progressing no matter what. And this is something that will also really help you in your normal life. So these realizing of your tensions. In order to realize a tension, you put all the tension extra into your body and then you release it, and then you will feel the big difference that it makes. So hopefully this was useful. You can try to use this you can use this video to do these exercises over and over again. So that's why I recorded everything in the long run. And let me know if there's some questions that you might have, and if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about. And miss you guys, love you all, and hopefully we get to see each other sometime soon. Ciao.